Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I want to talk to you today about the best type of evidence in your Social Security disability case. And I've come up with 5 categories of evidence I think that can make your case a lot stronger, or these are categories that I think the best cases have most of these factors involved with these cases. And so it gives you an idea of what judges are looking for and kind of what it takes to win. Number 1 is, does your case have objective medical evidence? And objective evidence is in the form of some form of test like an MRI or a CT scan or EMG, something that a doctor can look at and say, this is what this test says. It's much better than something subjective where the doctor says, my patient is complaining that he has back pain, but there's no evidence of that on the MRI or the CT scan. Yes, you are complaining of back pain, and yes, there can be idiopathic pain or pain that is not demonstrated by a herniated disc or something like that, but it's much stronger if there's objective evidence in the file. So obviously cases are much stronger with objective evidence. Medications. I've done a video on this before, but medications are kind of the cliff notes to your case. If a judge sees that you're on heavy-duty medications that have serious side effects, that's telling him you've got a serious problem. So, for example, if you're diabetic and you're taking glucophage or pills, it's a chronic problem, but it's not something disabling. If you're on an insulin pump taking 3 different kinds of insulin and your blood sugar is still hovering at 200, that says your diabetes is probably brittle, it's out of control. If you have a heart problem and you're on some cholesterol-reducing medication, you've got a heart issue, but it's not something real serious. If you're taking beta blockers, nitroglycerin, it says to the judge, you've got something really serious going on. So look at your medications, know what they are, and identify the ones that are most serious and really focus on those issues at your hearing. Judges look for people, number 3, who've had surgery, if it's a physical problem. Again, if you've got back problems, for example, and you have surgery, obviously that was pretty significant because doctors don't jump to surgery without first going through physical therapy or epidurals or medication management. Surgery says it's something pretty significant, and of course, a lot of times surgeries don't necessarily make things better. So judges look for surgeries to give them an indication there's something really serious. That does not mean that every case is a surgical case, and obviously some situations can be very, very painful, uncomfortable, and they're not surgical in nature, but again, surgery is a tip to the judge that something serious is going on there. If you have a mental health issue, judges are looking for inpatient mental health care, psychiatric hospitalizations, suicide attempts. That says to the judge that your mental health situation is very unstable and it's somewhat out of control. If you're taking medications, the same medications over a long period of time, you're taking Valium, something relatively mild, that says to the judge, well, you've got some anxiety perhaps, but nothing that is inherently disabling. So again, judges are looking for inpatient mental health hospitalizations, suicide attempts, something that really says that the mental health condition is out of control. That would be a 4th category of evidence that shows your case is really serious. And I think there's another category that sometimes gets overlooked, and that would be non-medical statements from former coworkers, supervisors, people that have firsthand knowledge about your ability to work. Maybe it's a coworker in a job that you tried that you could not do, that they don't have any sort of dog in the fight. Somebody, maybe a medical records, custodian of medical records that shows that you have missed at your last job, you missed 3 or 4 days of work a week or a month over the last 4 or 5 months of your work. That's really strong evidence because it goes to the heart of what Social Security is about, and that's your work capacity. That's a lot stronger than let's say, a letter from your best friend or your mom saying that, Joe has really changed a lot and I don't think he could work. It's much better to have something from a coworker, supervisor, somebody who has knowledge about your capacity to work. So those are 5 categories of evidence I think that can make your case a lot stronger, that you can really focus on. And again, not to say that there are other things that won't make your case stronger, but I'm telling you in this environment, judges are looking for cases that have as many of these categories of evidence as possible. So if you can possibly make those happen in your case, it's going to make your case that much stronger. Again, I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. Any questions about this or anything else with Social Security, please don't hesitate to let me know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube, like it on Facebook, and contact me through social media. I'm more than happy to answer any questions or record a video on any topic you have any suggestions with. So again, Jonathan here. Thanks a lot.